What do you make of Trump saying that he's ordered the repositioning of these two US nuclear submarines?
Good morning, Gemma. Look, unfortunately, the discussion of nuclear weapons has returned to statecraft at quite an alarming level. Recent attacks on Iran to prevent them gaining the nuclear weapon are an example of that. But I think what we're seeing from Trump is his frustration at his inability to encourage, coerce, or even bully Putin toward the peace deal that he promised when he was re-elected has meant that he is reaching for really the only lever he has left, which is the threat of nuclear weapons. I think it's a hollow threat. I think the opportunity to deter Russia occurred prior to the invasion of Ukraine. I think it's pretty clear Putin doesn't fear that Mr. Trump will put an American city at risk of retaliation if he was to engage in nuclear war over the country of Ukraine. So I think Putin will stare this down. I think it's a sign that Trump is running out of levers to influence Putin.
Mm-hmm. So with all that in mind, do you think it'll inflame tensions or quite the opposite?
I think it is very inflammatory more broadly, this idea that you need to have a nuclear weapon to deter aggression towards your country. Countries like Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, even eventually Australia will have to listen to that sort of rhetoric. I don't think in the case of the war in Ukraine it is going to be material. I think what Putin will probably respond to, it would be further economic pressure. It would be potentially his partners like China withdrawing their support. But it appears that the hard men, Netanyahu, Putin, Xi Jinping, don't fall for the bluster of President Trump.
And what do we know of these submarines that Trump is speaking of? I mean, are they carrying nuclear missiles?
Yes, there's no question, Gemma, they are carrying nuclear missiles. There is what they call the silent service of nuclear-capable missile submarines under the ocean every day of the year, and those submarines are already part of the deterrence umbrella that America has that deters aggression from Russia and already includes targets in Russia. The idea that they will be moved forward like chess pieces, I think, is unrealistic. I think the reality is Trump is signalling that he might be willing to use nuclear weapons if Putin doesn't take the actions that he described. As I said, I'm not sure that escalation is realistic, but there's no question these missiles and these submarines are real.
And as to the substance of that spat, Dmitry Medvedev, Moscow's military leader, former president, very close to Putin, described Trump's threat of a ceasefire or sanctions